we can't afford to lose any team fights either.
Yeah.
The problem with Luna here, for example, is that Luna, strong laning phase, is a pushing hero, etc., but is actually not the best at being able to push high ground when it comes to taking down tier 3 if you have a good high ground defender on the side of Newbee, because she's so far forward and she's so squishy.
Yeah, especially with a 4-staff, just one on the side of Newbee, you can just easily push Luna in. Oh.
Oh, man. This Newbie draft is just flat nasty. I feel like TNC have gotten away in this draft from a lot of the success that they had the other day. The supports just have no pushing presence whatsoever. Guys,
I actually don't like Omni.
You don't like the Omni?
No, I don't. I don't think it. You have Slark and Troll. You have like you didn't have any real team fight, like truly strong mid-game team fight. It opens up the potential for you to be run over. Like Slark isn't good versus like 5-man kind of ball lineups that they're dealing with, right? So they needed something to kind of inhibit that idea.
With Repel, he can go in. There's not a single diffusal carrier on side of TNC.
I mean, I'm still going to lead with Newbee, but I think there were better options from the offlane.
I mostly agree with you, Cap, but there are a few things about TNC's draft. Not the most durable heroes and very burst dependent, and I think Omni does well against that. Yes. So maybe better fit than usual, but I still like Newbee as well in this.
Yeah, me too. Especially their supports, it's Nyx Assassin and Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is pretty much food for Slark once he gets his Shadow Blade up.
Okay.
No escape.
Well, you heard it here. I'm going to make it a clean sweep. TNC were 4-0 in their first day, but our panel here, it's 4-0 for Newbee in game 1. Let's get our second semifinal of the day underway. Here are Lyrical and Merlini on the cast.
Thank you very much, Nahaz. My goodness gracious, Merlini. Did the panel curse him again? That always ends up happening, I feel like. Everybody goes one way. They zig when they should have zag.
I agree that Newbee's draft is a little bit better, but TNC, they have the hot streak going. They have the who knows what they're going to do. Yeah. Who even knew that Thebin was going to go play for them a week ago?
I know, that's what's
They have the element of surprise. Go!
We're going right into the game now. It's amazing. I actually really love that countdown. But yeah, TNC, Tim's on his Nyx Assassin as well, one of his just most well-known heroes. We'll be able to get down that early award. And I kind of have to sort of agree also with the panel that I think that the early game teamfights and particularly breaking high ground for TNC are going to be the big factors that determine how this game goes. As far as early laning stage, it does look like TNC want to try and aggro this. Do you expect that this ends up working out well for them?
Yes. Slark is very weak versus this sort of play. However, Newbee already have an Observer Ward. Raven is being scouted out by an Observer Ward to the direct northwest of him. And as you see, Dark Green, also known as Slark, will be headed down to the bottom. So they do not want to get aggroed. Slark is good versus their heroes, but only once he gets a lot of farm. And I think one of the reasons why they pick Luna is because Luna doesn't actually need that much farm. You have your high-level aura. You're good at push towers without really that many items. Yeah, you don't really need that many items to support you or your team.
Interesting. So they just did bring Raven up there for a moment, and now they're instead going to stick it back over there. So
because they have an Observer Ward where the pool camp is.
All right, back and forth we go. SC on that troll mid. Panel talked about that as a possibility, is indeed what we're going to be seeing. And KP going into there as well. The Mango pickup as well. I just love that change with the Soul Ring. And Omni Knight should be able to get into it in decent time and then eventually move back afterwards into just spamming out that wave against now what looks to be maybe a Nyx Assassin TP in top.
Time to lane swap. Musical lanes. That's what they call it.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Oh. I don't know how often SCCC has played the Troll. He has played a lot of the traditional mids, like Queen of Pain, Storm Spirit, Invoker, very often, but Troll I don't necessarily think is one of his most played heroes.
Denied.
And checking out the laning. In the early game, Faith will be bullying Cuckoo a little bit, but overall, it's too early to see who's ahead.
Yeah.
He has not played Troll in a competitive game in the last 3 months.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Oh, that's a pretty freaking long time.
And going back to the last 12 months, he also has not played a competitive game on Troll. His hero pool is actually very small.
Interesting.
He's played, I'm counting them up right now, he's played 15 heroes in 12 months.
Wow.
15? Is that Is that for real? Oh, wait, no, that's most played.
Oh. Well, Sam H, actually,
go
he
ahead.
might be in a little bit of trouble.
Okay, sorry, he's played it 5 times in the last year. That's decent enough.
I mean, and
Bad
probably
stats.
as well, playing it in pubs and stuff like that, it's a little bit of a different thing, too. You still get that feel. I mean, it's like riding a bicycle, you know what I mean?
No, Troll's weird, though.
Okay.
Troll's weird because he's half melee, half ranged. I don't really think there's another hero like that. And you have to swap forms constantly. Especially in the early laning phase is a little bit more difficult, but looks like he is doing very well. Oh my god. He is chopping him down. Early help from the Bloodlust, of course.
I mean, it's still Cuckoo who's like, salves up and should be able to live through it, but it's a problem where he keeps on taking all this harassment, and I mean, Cuckoo does not want to end up running into this issue where he's getting forced out of lane. That's one of the ways in which Queen of Pain sort of is
I don't
able
think
to
he's going to
snowball.
get forced out of lane. Ogre can't really harass a Quap that well. Yeah, you have a ton of regen, but you're still a melee hero versus Quap, who is just a complete menace to melees.
Fair enough. I mean, he is getting shoved in pretty badly, and I guess there's going to be this larger creep wave, so Cuckoo should be able to catch back up again. But SC keeping the pressure on in Faith. Just look at these guys bullying him around. He's still going to be able to get CS underneath the tower, but not necessarily the way that Cuckoo would have wanted. As far as the other lanes are concerned, Luna and Slark just trading off relatively at ease, and it feels as if it's going to be much more static of the laning phase, at least for the moment.
Yeah, Omni Knight and Batrider are almost exactly the same with respect to levels. So neither offlane are really getting zoned out too much, but I would say that's a big boon to the side of Newbee, who don't have 3 heroes zoning out the offlaner. KP in a little bit of trouble over here, gets stunned out. Early level of Malediction, and that will be their first blood.
1437 picking it up. Captain comes in, takes the last hit as well.
The level 1 of Maledict early is pretty good, but you cannot underestimate Luna in tri-lanes. The level 1 Lunar Blessing is ridiculously strong.
It is, certainly. And, well, Cuckoo is still taking some more harassment here. Has that blink available as they look for another opening onto KP. But you can see that SC isn't fully able to make that, push out a lane as you were talking about. You do have the 2 points up now in the dagger for Quap as well, so she can try and put back some more of that harassment onto the Troll Warlord. But yeah, that early point in Maledict, it's going to make KP maybe a little bit more hesitant to step farther forward. And of course, without the Shrine, it makes it harder to trade off last hits as well.
This next moment for the rune could be quite important. Top rune, it is a little bit closer. Oh, it's a regeneration. Oh my god, that is a lane loss for Quap, I would say, right there.
Yeah, with only the Fairy Fire left now, too, and he's just going to be able to have this and go in onto the Queen of Pain. God, that is so frustrating, I'm sure.
He did blow his salve right before, though, so that's actually not as bad for Quap as I thought it was going to be.
Okay. I mean, Quap's going back home, though.
She pushed a wave in, though, at
All
least
right.
before, right? She shoved into the tower. This tower is attacking the creeps, and by the time she comes back to lane, the creeps will be arriving right under her nose. So it's actually not as bad because Raven played that very, very well. Smoke maneuver coming down, but the two supports are creepy together, and Tim's is not easy to kill. He has boots and stouts.
KP is going to make this move in towards him as well and possibly try and get him to be a little bit of a bait. They're going to bring in Kaka now, gets the lift up onto 1. But as you said, Tim's very survivable here for the moment. They do end up finding that Fire Blast bait, trying to run at him, but a really good Impale comes through onto 2, and Kaka now under fire as well. Can they find that kill? KP goes to the Soul Ring and trying to run away from it now. He do get body block. Really good play right there by Fate. That's going to save his life.
Still very nice stun coming out from Tim's, and that was not the target that you want to go on. Ideally, you go on the Witch Doctor before he can get the casts out, but
he blinked into that. Man, Cuckoo playing with fire. Still is going to keep the pressure on SC, and he's actually thinking about running it. Cuckoo doesn't have any mana. Fairy Fire trying to stay alive, but a couple more hits. Is it going to be enough? No! The Impale comes out in the right click to turn it back around. Beautiful timing from Tim's.
Cuckoo may be a woman, but he is certainly. I cannot believe.
He's got some big ovaries.
How did he go in there? That's ridiculous.
This is what I'll say about Cuckoo. He is out of his damn mind. Every time I watch this guy play, it flirts with greatness.
That's true. When I watch him play Tinker, I'm like, dude, how did you just blink into that?
Yeah.
Same story with the Queen of Pain. What on earth was that? Quap is a low armor hero too. He was taking a lot of damage from that, but whew, that still blows my mind. Raven.
Yeah, big kill, too. And now 2 of them going into the favor of TNC. They're going to make the move now into the jungle. I guess that this is just some wardage and maybe trying to see if they can find somebody either stacking or whatever else that they want to do later on.
But they are going for the Slark. Slark is level 6, so this is not going to be an easy kill at all. I don't know how they're really going to go for this, especially because it's nighttime. Slark is going to scout him out right now. That was easy.
Yeah, Moogie just backs out. No problem, no fuss, no muss. And the TPs instead maybe thinking about turning this one. Do they really just get a free courier right there? No, instead the lift up. Moogie going to be able to get a free 1437. The impale to save Tim's life, but
I don't know why all those trees are down over there. Maybe a bit of Firefly action, but that certainly made things a ton easier for the Slark. I do not think that TNC had anticipated that when they went up to the top side. With those trees there, maybe they could have jumped the Slark as he ran over to the right side, but without the trees, the night vision from Slark just made that an easy first kill for Newbee.
well, they are still, going to try and force SC back a little bit. Raven doesn't have level 6 yet, and there's a lot of creeps in the area anyways, not to mention Repel there from KP. So next couple of minutes, they have rotated a couple heroes out of the lane. Do you see there being any big rotations with Cuckoo having his ulti online?
More so, I think they need to wait on the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin is still a little bit behind. He is only level 4 right now. Oh, that missed.
That one didn't. Oh, Cuckoo again.
Yes. He's crazy.
He's crazy. He's always on it. The DD troll, it might have been enough. Meanwhile, KP not going to be stunned there. They force out the repel, so for the next 27 seconds, he's going to have to stay a little bit further back.
That cast point, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, and Slark, I mean, he really is not going to be an easy kill. I would imagine that you can try and make a move a little bit later on when you have that Quap, Scream of Pain up to higher levels, Sonic Wave there as well. But with all those stick charges and stuff, as you mentioned, he's going to need that extra bit of lockdown that Tim's would provide. So pressure now onto the Tier 1 tower maybe a little bit. The haster in here for Kaka.
Yep. Good thing Rubik was there right when he was. If not, probably would have been an easy death for him. Cuckoo is still crazy. Going in one-on-one against SECC.
He blinks back over in the mid lane, but Tim's, he's now maybe a little bit cut off. Can they get the body blocks in time? Does look like Tim's is going to be able to make the escape for a second. The Impale goes on to 3, but Kaka cleans up with that Fade Bolt.
Timely play from Rubik. I think he also stole the bounty rune on the bottom. Look at, he had bounty, haste, bounty, kill. That is an efficient last minute coming out from him. Now the kill score is evened up.
Yeah. 3 points up in that purification. For Omni Knight, it always makes those ganks that much more scary to go for TNC, and it looks like they're just still content to hold on pat for the laning stage. I do have to be a little bit concerned the fact that Slark has already gotten so much. It's not just the net worth that he has, but also the denies and levels he's been able to attain.
Yeah, surely that is a concern for TNC. However, they do have stronger 5-man, and I think they can use that to toy with Newbee for the next few minutes. And Sam H is very close to his Blink Dagger. He probably needs to... is that enough? Not quite enough.
Yeah, still just a little bit more for him. Maybe if one of these towers ends up going down, seems unlikely to happen in the next few minutes. So we'll probably just be able to farm that up in the neutrals. Cuckoo is making this rotation down towards Bana, just to test, at least for a moment, if KP is going to be vulnerable to a gank.
He did just use Repel, so it's down for 10 seconds. Cuckoo will just start to right-click the tower. Oh, nope, missed a Scream.
That might have been an opportunity. Yeah, the Repel up there's maybe a chance, but it would have had to be pretty close. You don't want to blow the Scream Pain if you're not going to find the kill. With the rotations potentially there, probably a good decision not to dive in for it. But doesn't fit within the style that he's been playing so far.
Oh, that's a kill rune for Cuckoo. He does have the Arcane rune. That's a great one for Queen of Pain to have this early, especially before Blink is max level.
So this double null tally, it's probably just laning stage. You don't imagine it by any means that he's going to be going in towards like a Veil or anything like that.
Veil's very common pickup on Queen. I think it's pretty good. You have Nyx Assassin on your team. You have Bat Rider, who's almost entirely magical damage.
See, like okay.
Maledict, Eclipse. It's all pretty good. Why not? Armor helps a lot versus the Troll. look at the damage from Newbee. Where is their damage actually coming from? Some from Purification, a little bit of stuff from Rubik and from Ogre that Raindrop can easily block, and then majority is going to be right-click from Slark and the Troll, in which case you would want a little bit of armor.
Look at this. They spot out the Troll. They're able to pull him back in, but look at all the TP rotations. This is the Newbee Classic. They bring in every damn person to save a life, and, well, as soon as those rotations are forced, TNC back out. Decide not to go any further.
I think they can now go for a push on bottom, though, now that all those TPs were forced out. And they almost got the cliff onto the Troll. I don't know how big of a deal that would have made because he did have a TP scroll, but still putting his TP scroll on cooldown is not a bad play. Kaka in a little bit of trouble over here. The Shrine is up.
Oh, and yeah, KP able to come in and make sure that his buddy doesn't end up going down. So,
and they don't even have to use a Shrine. And now he stole Napalm. Napalm, he doesn't have anything to synergize with it, really, but it's still very annoying having just one sticky stack. It does give a lot of magic stick charges, but I think the turn rate slow is more than enough to justify casting it multiple times in a team fight.
Okay. They're setting up maybe towards the top lane here. Tims is in the area, has his level 6 online, but Slark is just going to back out. I was wondering if they're actually going to try and find a kill, but maybe just some slow siege comes out from them as well. That Veil was just completed, like you're talking about for the Quap, and with that done, there's some opportunity here for TNC to take a little bit of an advantage. Still no towers taken in this game. It's all just been about the farm and making those right rotations when they need to.
Slower is definitely better for Newbee, I would say. They need time for this Troll and the Slark to get big and bad. Slark is going to be very difficult for TNC to counter, especially with the free farm that he has had, but he's still a bit of ways from his Shadow Blade and still needs a lot more items before he can start solo killing these supports with ease.
Currently, just a very even net worth distribution. I will say the one thing that's a little bit of a problem maybe is that KP is slightly further behind in terms of farm than the Batrider. That's just going to be natural based upon the way that these two heroes farm. I will ask, does that sort of cause any trepidation for you for Newbee and the way that their next couple of minutes go? Is this something where you need to be concerned he's not getting into like a mechanism or whatever?
Busting out SAT wars, are you? I know what that means.
I got to do something, you know. But yeah, is it at all concerning for you that KP hasn't been able to get as much farm as the Batrider?
Not too big of a deal because I don't think he's likely going to die in team fights. There's two heroes that are going to be upfront and personal with the Slark and the Troll, which just means it's a lot less likely that the Omni Knight is going to die. And in the case that they do lasso him or even try and initiate on him with the Nyx Assassin, there is always the Rubik behind him potentially to save him. Rubik, stolen. Lucent Beam on top, not a terrible spell to have. It is a lot of burst. Tims does scout out Moogie.
This is really bad. They've just got him. He's dead. He walked underneath that ward, like they knew that the ward was there, and then walked into where there were three heroes. There must have been something we missed. Yeah.
He also just used a Shadow Blade to farm neutrals.
Yeah.
You know, Sam H got his Blink Dagger, boom, smoke, go for a kill. That's generally what you want to do with Slug. That's almost always a free pickoff because you have no idea where they are, and they're not generally prepared with sentries and dust beforehand. And that's a big kill to give away. He was #1 in net worth, and that is a big slowdown on momentum because he's their main space creator on Newbee. Who else is supposed to run around and get kills? It's just a Slark here. They don't have a playmaking offlane. They have a team fighter / defensive hero in the Omni Knight. So that's very worrisome for me because U9 is supposed to set the pace for this game, for Newbee. And if not, I feel like they're just going to be waiting to get ganked by a Nyx Assassin plus Quad. They're going to be waiting to get pushed down by the Lucent Beam. And the only other play that they can possibly make is Roshan with Troll's Vlad.
Yeah, and that's not exactly easy to take either. You have Sonic Wave there. You've got Eclipse that's so deadly inside that Roche pit.
Like Batrider is the king
everything.
of Roche. Being able to fly in and out the pit as well as get vision with Napalm is so strong that it's very difficult to contest. And another free kill, just group up and push. And yeah, Newbee are getting towers in the meantime, but that's because they don't really have another choice. And Sam H has TP'd in. There is another one coming in.
Oh, God, this could be really bad. Sam H looking for the initiation. He found the Slark. No Dark Pack comes out at all. Moogie in trouble. He does still have that ulti that's keeping him safe for the moment and trying to bring down Tims. But, I mean, they're all here. Cuckoo is still hanging on to this. They pop out the ulti as well from the Omni Knight, and their decision is to go for KP here. Under fire, under duress, and under the ground. Omni dead.
And I do really like the Luna pick here for this reason, where they can just 5-man and Newbee cannot take a fight. the Troll's been very popular at this tournament, and he's really good at pushing towers, taking down Roche, but he's not particularly well suited for team fights, especially before he's BKB. Like, with a Nyx Assassin in play and a Witch Doctor, there's no way that you could just run it without getting stun locked. And they're taking a huge advantage of that with this Luna early push.
Maybe this is the play they need. They immediately destroy that Luna. Big pickup. The Sonic Wave connects onto 5, though. Oh, TNC there hitting quite hard. Cuckoo trying to kill off KP, and Kaka also being ran down. Does he end up falling? They will be able to get that kill. 3 down now for Newbee, and, well, Sam H isn't done with him. SC getting dove under his tower. Triple kill for Sam H. It doesn't stop. Well, it might now that Faith is going to be able to run him down. Stick charges is there for Ogre as well, so there's never going to be a chance for a kill on him.
That's rough, though. That Sonic Wave, oh my god, 3,100 damage from the... That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they did lose the Luna there, which
yo, you got a tower, you got so many kills. You're not sad about that.
Yeah. Even all he needs to really do is, hit a couple buildings once you start to go towards that high ground and things start to really move into your way. And Cuckoo, top of the net worth, they are feeling quite good right now on TNC.
I think it's very problematic that Mugi has not gotten more net worth. He's had Shadow Blade for a while, but he's sitting around this like 5,000 net worth area for the last 5 minutes or so. Hasn't gotten a kill. He died with a Shadow Blade. He died in the next team fight immediately. And the net worth isn't that bad. The kill difference isn't that bad, but just looking at momentum and the options available to each team, it's hard to find an avenue where Newbee can get back in the game, but maybe this is how you start things off.
Oh, no. Oh, that is so unlucky. He walks in, the Shadow Blade breaks right as he ended up running under the Sentry Ward, and the smoke was there too. Gets hit by the cask, and, well, that was about all she wrote. They're not going to be able to do anything else on top of that. They do run by Tim's, and this should signal them that there's a Nyx Assassin in the area, but the unfortunate part, there's no dust. Immediately buys a Sentry.
I think the TNC supports are very well prepared on how to deal with the Slark. Yeah, there's no Slark counters, but you can't really go in. It's just very dangerous for him to go in, and he has to worry about getting lassoed immediately. He has to worry about getting chainstunned by Nyx after Dark Pact, and sooner rather than later, I think he's going to have to worry about the Orchid coming out from Queen of Pain. And there is a smoke coming out. Queen of Pain is the only hero that is revealed. She has a DD. She can't hit this tower, but Newbee have to be wondering where on earth the rest of TNC are. They have no idea.
Oh, God, they're going to run right into him, though. Mugi is there. Sam H is up on the high ground. They're all sitting by it. Dark Pack about to wear off. He's going to get the pounce away.
But with that, I think it's a free tower. The DD is still alive and well on Cuckoo. And with Lunar Blessing, quick work. And another tower down. They are just crushing with this Luna.
I mean, and it's not just that, it's Tim's. Like, look at him. He's just walking around with impunity, and Newbee can't do anything about this. Like,
I honestly think they should buy a gem very early on Slark. I think that's probably the best play that they can make right now. And it's a far-sighted investment, however, and he has to play perfectly with the gem, though. You have to be able to eliminate the Nyx Assassin's vision in team fights. You can take down a lot of Observer Wards, and you can take out all the Sentry Wards so that you yourself can move around freely in the fight. So I don't know if they're going to pick it up soon, but it might be something that they're looking for. But right now, all momentum pointing towards TNC.
Well, I guess if there was a way to get back into it, is it just off the back of Mugi making plays and finding kills on these supports? Or do you have to sort of wait until TNC try and pressure a tower and then you go for the split push game yourselves? You've already lost all your tier 1s.
Split push is not an option here.
It's not.
The Nyx Assassin is incredibly good at picking off any sort of split pusher. And I think their best way to win team fights, or to win the game, is to win team fights. And how do they win team fights? I think they need to bait out people. You bait out the Slark using well-timed Dark Packs. You bait out anyone with counter-initiate with a quick telekinesis and repel and GA and purification. They have a lot of counterplay available to them. They just have to make sure that TNC step and fall into their trap.
That was a nice DD taken away from the troll as well by Sam H. Made sure to pick that one up.
They need to make sure that Newbee don't steal Roche, though. I think that is of utmost importance right now for TNC. They are getting to the point where they can break away with the game, but if TNC manages to take a Roche, I think they can win a team fight with Aegis because they aren't going to have enough ultimates to kill Troll Warlord or maybe even Slark twice in a row. So They need to be huddled around this area of the map, which is pretty easy for them because they have taken down so many towers. But they need to make sure that they don't like split off and farm both jungles and push out both lanes. That is not what they should be doing at the moment.
Yeah, and this is a team that you might be able to actually make that type of a play. And with the Sentry Ward up on high ground, this is another route towards this fashion. As
Tim's is, he just has the senses.
He just knows. And while this is all happening, they're all huddled around that Sentry Ward. Luna's pushing in towards the mid lane, and this tier 2 tower is just taking a ton of heat.
I don't think it's going to be a successful push. It's going to be like very slow, but it's the place that they need to be. They need to be able to get vision of Newbee, and who cares if people are farming out the side lanes? You just need to make sure that you have stronger objectives. Side lanes are only going to yield you maybe 1,000 gold, but it's not like Newbee are going to farm the side lanes out right now. If they farm the side lanes, this T2 tower just falls. So it's sort of a power move, and threatening this T2 and the idea of pushing is more important than the push and taking down the tower itself.
Well, in Newbee right now, they do know that TNC is here. They're by a ward, and actually it's immediately going to get dewarded. 1437 on top of it, knows what's coming, and now...
Look at Nixus in the bottom lane. He is looking out for SCCC. He knows exactly where he is, but without a TP to back him up, I don't think they're going to be able to go for this kill. But this is the problem with split pushing. You split push, you will get scouted out, and you do have to fear for your life and always worry that Nixus is on your tail.
Yeah,
and he's dead.
Yeah, he realizes
he got stunned on bottom lane. There's a
get over there,
Lincoln,
Ubs. I believe in you.
And he's
right,
dead
there it
anyways.
is.
But this is the thing. Like, Tim's is playing incredibly well this game. He is scouting out the back line so that the Batrider can make informed plays, and he's quelling any sort of split push pressure from Newbee at the same time. So now, what do you have to do? Like, you can only take Roche if you split push out the lanes, but they can't split push out the lanes. So they still need to win a team fight somehow, or wait for TNC to split up.
And that's the thing too, is like it's sort of, it feels as if everything is predicated upon TNC making a mistake, and maybe this is that mistake right now. Raven is going to be caught. You do have Cass going out as well. Raven brought down fairly low. The heal is there as well, able to juke around the side of the trees. Is still going to be caught a second time now. They have brought down the Luna. This all started like this before, and guess what? It's looking like it's going to be the same thing. Cuckoo just running through fools. Mugi possibly in trouble, going down. Sonic Wave finishes it off. And they get the Luna, but to what end? As Kaka also in trouble. Tim's chasing, right clicks there, impaled, dead.
I think you mentioned that Omni Knight not being that farmed might be an issue for them, and it definitely is at this point because he just gets orchid up and dies. And without a Greaves to save him, he's actually going for a pipe, it looks like. He's going for a pipe, so he has no way to get out of silence. And Fate's trying his best to split push out the lanes, but...
What? Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not the best use of Shrine for them, especially considering that I think Roche is one of their few plays that they have left. But, yeah, they are getting crushed around the map, and U9 has not really delivered on his Slark that he needs to in this game. The Silver Edge is okay. It limits Luna's damage, but if he kills a Luna, he just dies in response. And that was I would say, like a little bit of poor positioning from TNC. They weren't in place to really save the Luna, but they were making a play at the same time on bottom lane. They just need to be a little bit more wary that Luna is still quite easy to kill without a BKB or any defensive item right now.
Yeah, and Maledict has been more the build for the Witch Doctor this game as well.
Yep.
He was keeping just that 1 point up in heal a little while ago to make sure he didn't get Cask stolen by the Rubik. But maybe Roshan is a thought for TNC. Honestly, I actually don't think they even need to. They can just kind of keep this pressure on around the map and take fights when they want to. Maybe once they find a whole lot of pickoffs, then they go for it. But
they did scout out that the Shrine was taken down on top.
Yeah.
So it still might be a pretty good option. I think they need to take down the T2 in mid before, although it is a little bit of an awkward position that they need to take that T2. But I guess taking a fight around the Roche pit is fine because you have the Eclipse. As long as Eclipse doesn't get stolen by Kaka, I think you're okay. But luckily they do get blessed with the double damage on the Luna. Still have duration left on that, and this Roshan is going to go down quickly, but not as quickly as if they had a medallion.
Lunar Blessing extends to runes. Why
Dire
not?
has you scanned. Oh, I don't think
they
it
caught
actually
it.
did.
They saw it, yeah. So they do know that this is going on, but
way
it's still...
too late. Are they thinking about smoking right now? That is just minutes too late. Not minutes, but I'm exaggerating.
It's a little too late. It's been a rough game. It's not been Newbee's game, that's for damn sure. And trying to figure out ways to make this work now with Roshan going down. I guess the one plus side you could say about this is that it's a late Roche being taken for TNC, so it means that they have in a more extended time than if it was, you know, maybe an Ursa draft or something from TNC, where this would be the second one thinking about going high ground. Less likely that that's going to be possible.
Wow, that is like the only silver lining that I could possibly think of for this situation.
You got to do something, man.
I think it's pretty bad though, because I think the newbie side needs the Aegis a lot more. Like Troll generally plays with Aegis. It's kind of like Ursa, not as bad as Ursa and Lycan, but still important to the point where you do need an Aegis. And towers continuing to be mowed down by Raven, and now with the Aegis in tow, they might be able to threaten high ground. He did just complete. He does have the Lance, and he's had it for some time now.
Mookie will make the escape.
They might need a gem on the Radiant side. They already have one. They already have one on Sam H. So TNC well prepared for this mid stretch of the game.
Oh, they did almost catch one there. It looks like he was just barely able to get out. KP got that repel off in the TP as well. So everybody's still escaping. They end up forcing TNC back, but maybe this is just back to the extent that they're going to be going in for a push on the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane. Well, Troll pushes out the top lane. It sort of devolved a little bit where maybe there is some opportunity for split push here from Newbee, since it's been more 5-man oriented from TNC.
It certainly is. And there's two ways TNC can take this. I say there's two main approaches, which is maybe like buy Midas on a hero like Nyx Assassin and gear up for the late game if you don't want to go for the high ground siege, or you push high ground with all the resources that you have at the moment and don't commit at all to the late game, thinking that you can end the game right now. And I think TNC, they've always been more of a let's go get him while we can and let's press our edge while we can. So I'd be more surprised if they did go for the Midas route.
Yeah. Well, and it's not as if like you're in a situation where if you get the Midas, you can't win the fights at that point anyways. But I mean, for goodness sake, the Batrider is only 1,000 gold behind the Slark. This game is feeling completely out of Newbee's control in any form or fashion. BKB almost completed for the Batrider now. They did end up taking down the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane and now getting set up to move up and take down the tier 2 tower in the top lane. It always ends up in that awkward situation where with Roshan or the Aegis starting to get close to wearing out, maybe if you push too far and push high ground, then Newbee can get a comeback.
Possibly. I think it's very hard though because their team fight is just terrible.
Yeah.
And with the BKB coming out on the Batrider soon, he can just blink lasso the Troll, and Troll is dead. I think if you get repelled, you still die. You'll just take a death ward, and there's not really that much you can do about it. So Newbee, they are struggling at the moment, and that's an understatement.
Yeah, it's not been the type of game that they wanted it to work towards. And I guess it's hard to specify what it was in particular that caused all this to happen. Was it just like taking bad fights, or was it more the good plays and rotations that came out from TNC? What would you sort of peg this on in this game?
I would say like 40% is U9 not doing anything with his Shadow Blade. He had the most farm on the game, and he's the only playmaker on the side of Newbee. So he wasn't able to do anything with the Shadow Blade. That was a lot. I think a little bit of it was SCCC dying in the mid lane, but that can be completely forgiven because he was really close to killing the Queen of Pain. And then I think a little bit of it too is just them getting swamped in team fights, and maybe a little bit of better execution could have saved them from that. But Ogre, Bloodlust Machine right now, Troll Warlord going to be completely destroyed by the Blink BKB Lasso. Omni Knight completely controlled by the Orchid. Slark controlled by the Gem, as well as the Nyx Assassin always scouting him out, and Rubik doesn't really have that many items to play around with. He just has Arcane Urn, although he does almost have Blink Dagger right now.
Ooh, you know what? If they end up sticking around too long, this might be some TP breakage, or possibly just finding kills regardless. They want to go for it. KP caught. There's going to be the jump forward. Lasso as well, while simultaneously slowing down and maybe going to kill off Kaka. They aren't going to be able to find him, but it does look like they're going to be able to get KP. So a nice pickup there. Again, just bullying away this Omni Knight, who's struggled so hard to get things done.
Yep, and Cap called it. He thought the Omni Knight was not that great of a pick for them because he's just not the quintessential team fighter with these particular cores. Like, these particular cores are single target. They, even with Repel, they probably still need BKB, as I see Troll has already completed one and Slark has also completed one. So you lose a lot of value from Repel if they already have to go for BKB anyways. And with this amount of farm, he just gets Orchid and dies, which is, and he's completely useless without spells.
Well, this is going to be a hold and a half for Newbee, hopefully. That's the dream at the very least. They have Scream of Pain, they got Fade Bolt, they got these ways to try and kill through the creeps. But at the end of the day, it is Raven hitting onto this tower, and Newbee struggling to find an answer. They're going to get the lift up, the stun as well to follow. SC trying to bring down Raven. Gets him pretty low. The Glimmer Cape is going to keep him alive for the moment, and, well, TNC just back out now.
That was a good BKB. Raven, I think, ran into him because he tried to force it. He tried to pike. Oh, wait, does he have a pike? Okay, I don't actually know why he ran up then, but I thought he tried to pike him, and that was almost what was his undoing, but still, healthy amount of damage on that tier 3 tower. It is at around 70%, and as the Aegis expires, TNC will have to take a moment's respite to consider the next game plan. And what should that be? Oh, what was that? Pop? Did they just pop pipe?
Yes, they did.
That is not good when you're this far behind.
Now you're in a little bit more of trouble because you have the rest of TNC that's trying to wrap around onto Newbee right now. Can they actually stay on top of him and find these kills? They thought about diving in.
They definitely cannot fight without the pipe, though. They can fight like close to their shrine inside their T3s, but that is going to be devastating not having that big team fight item for another 35 seconds. And Raven can still siege. He has Manta available again. He didn't use BKB the first time. No glyph up, I believe, on the Dire side for 3.5 minutes.
Well, 11,000 net worth, 14-5. It is 31 minutes into this game, but the possible outs right now for Newbee are feeling few and far between as TNC just farm out the entire rest of the jungle. They have items to siege high ground with the next Roshan. They have items to win the team fight leading up to the fight around Roshan.
And Newbee know they have to make a play before this next Rosh. This next Aegis will be their death. And Raven, he could BKB TP if he doesn't get destroyed by the bash. And it looks like Tims will be the person to pop the smoke. And that is not a kill. So the thing about TNC is that they're foreseeing almost every avenue that Newbee can come back. They control the pit very well by threatening the T2 in mid. They picked up a gem very early to deal with the Slark. They prevent this preemptive smoke gank that Newbee are going for before the Roshan, and they've just anticipated every move that Newbee have done.
I think they call that reading them like a book.
Yep. That is well read. So run some bookstores.
Oh, no, Faith. Oh, man. Ooh, the first Eclipse is a dirty one there. They're trying to keep him alive, and now they pull back in another. Faith still taking the damage. The Sonic Wave goes out on the 3, but you do have some damage coming out now from Newbee. They're trying to bash up, trying to kill off. Okay, he is going to end up going down. Moogie gets that one. Raven's still sitting on the high ground, trying to bring down Moogie, and it does look like they are finally going to be able to contain him and kill him off, but they did lose the Queen of Pain and the Witch Doctor for it.
That was a double bash coming out for them. That's a 6 NNN play right there, pouncing into the trees.
Yeah, that one hurt. The car's flipped over, that's for sure.
BKB on Queen of Pain is actually a little bit surprising. It doesn't really help that much. I think if he had more armor, like if he had Shivas, which I think he would have had, he would have been fine because it's just physical damage coming out from Troll that killed him, and Slark, I would say. But like, I don't really think BKB is necessarily counter to Newbee's BKBs. I think you're really scared of like mass silences or something like that, mass stun lock, mana burn, Nixus, and these kind of heroes that are going to prevent you from being able to do your thing. But against Troll and Slark, BKB not as imperative.
Well, and the other thing to sort of keep our eyes on here is that Newbee, they've built into a few of these big items. Like, they haven't taken the fights that would allow TNC to completely snowball out of control. It's just been always that TNC's team fight is better. Kaka, now with the Blink Dagger there's some opportunity here for moves if they're able to outplay them. But I guess that is what it needs to be, is an outplay at this point.
Definitely outplay. Outplay with bashes. Easy outplay.
Easiest outplay. Yeah, Tim's.
This next Roche is very important, though, for both teams.
And they do both have gems now as well. The one gem on Newbee is on the Omni Knight, I believe, who has still very much struggled to farm. It's been the Rubik who's taken more of the farm, Kaka taking over that role, and now it looks like they are geared up for that fight.
This is where you just blow everything. You blow all your smokes, you buy the gem, you do everything for this one fight right here.
Well, Sam H, there's a little bit of tension. They all back out immediately. quite knowing where everybody was. Still a move up towards the top could be where this fight ends up working out for them.
Not with the positioning that they have right now. Very close to their shrine. Their shrine just came off cooldown on the top rune. And Radiant has used scan close to the Dire Nations, but there is nothing there. And TNC are wondering what on earth Newbee are doing right now. The thing is, they can take a fight inside the pit. Yeah. Eclipse is going to destroy them. If they have BKBs, it's still going to be very painful for the rest of Newbee to walk in.
Oh. This is a nice way to start it. If they can bring down and kill off that Bat Rider, Mookie is there on top of him. Sonic Wave again connects onto 4, but they have the Guardian Angel. Now trying to turn. The bashes, it isn't enough. No! Cuckoo gets out, and now SC's already popped his BKB. Maybe in a bit more trouble. Raven still holding on to that Eclipse.
Wow, Kaka. Huge play there with the lasso onto the Bat Rider, and he did not expect that at all. Wasn't able to pop his BKB in time, and it looks like it will just be a halt in the action as TNC wait for the Bat Rider to respawn. GA was used in that fight, so that is one big cooldown that Newbee won't have, but on the flip side, Queen of Pain will also not have Sonic Wave for this engagement.
Well, they're kind of in this awkward position now where TNC maybe they're able to fire themselves.
They lost Gem that fight too. Oh my goodness, that's really bad for them.
And repelled up Moogie. They can't really do anything to this guy. He did get Orchided there, but Shadowblade bounces away, and now Newbee retreat.
At the loss of a gem, I think, is probably even more worrisome than the Bat Rider death himself, and the attempts of Sam H and Mana Burn to Slark will be rendered futile as the regeneration rune is picked up.
I mean, you do still have this Raven problem at 18,000 net worth, Butterfly completed, and Troll not really close to that MKB, I don't believe. But
still, BKB wars are going to favor of Newbee, I would say. And I would say a lot of it is actually to do with the BKB on Cuckoo.
They're trying to go in right now, though. Moogie is there. Roche is fairly low. Not dead as of yet, though, and jumps away. SC reveals that Blink Dagger. They're able to kill off the Witch Doctor. A really good start. Raven pops his ulti as well, but he's dropping down incredibly low. Can they find the kill? The lasso kept him alive, and now they've clipped up the Slark. Can they run down this Luna? They need to get into range. A good Impale comes out to break the chase, and the pushback as well. That will keep alive Raven for the moment. But SC, he has his Blink Dagger off cooldown in just a second. Doesn't want to go for it.
And here is where the Omni Knight shines. He wasn't particularly good in the earlier team fights, but with BKB and GA, they are untouchable. Although GA was not up for that fight. Even without the GA, they still really cannot be threatened. And Newbee will claim the prize Roshan, and that is going to be a 9,000 net worth, 8,000 in favor of TNC, down from about 14. So Newbee have closed this gap, and TNC now have to be scared.
Yeah, you got to play that so much more carefully. And you see right there, the Queen of Pain is going back for that Shiva as you were talking about. He needs that armor to stay alive against this troll.
Yeah, I think the BKB was a big mistake. Even Ghost Scepter would be fine too. Ghost Scepter can't get punished at all here if he just wants to be able to stay up in the fight and cast spells. And also, BKB doesn't really have that great of synergy with his later talent. You have to anticipate getting level 25 in this sort of game if you aren't going to be able to end the game early. And it doesn't really help you too much. You want things like Mjolnir, Shiva's Guard that you can spell Lifesteal on and keep the fight going while dishing out tons of damage.
Is Troll getting an MKB queued up right now, by the way? Because that is a big, heavy investment from the Luna into that Butterfly. And if he gets into an MKB, things start to look really scary for TNC.
I think Luna really needs a Pike. Yeah, he needs to be able to get some distance between him and the Troll, because in a one-on-one fight, especially with the MKB coming out soon, Troll wins that easily because of the bash. And Luna needs to be able to threaten the Troll with the Eclipse if they have any chance of killing the Troll after the BKB.
Well, does have that queued up now. Also, the Slark queuing up that MKB. We do have the Shiva's Guard done now for the Queen of Pain, but simultaneously a Blink Dagger done for Omni. That positioning becomes a hell of a lot easier for KP.
Man, he is not very high level. He is only level 14 right now. Good thing he does have that GPM talent, but his net worth is still very, very low. They have picked up a secondary gem on the Bat Rider, and I think that's a big part of the net worth swing too. So 4,000 net worth after all these towers have been taken down and all these objectives has been claimed, and that is not even including the Aegis on the Slark.
This is just one of those things. It's so scary even with all of the changes to high ground, the way that you can build a lead and end the game, if you don't manage to get that second Roshan, and instead it's Newbee that's giving it over, all that momentum, all that map control ends up swinging back the other direction. And now another tier 2 going to be taken. Newbee just running around the map, clockwork.
Also, the Glimmer Cape coming out from the Witch Doctor hasn't really proven to be terribly effective against Newbee because they did invest in that early gem. So, like, let's say he had a Solar Crest there, maybe he would have been able to survive a little bit longer to get off his spells, or he can just stomp it on the Luna so that she doesn't have to fear so often during the BKB. But by the time he gets Solar Crest, I believe the Troll is going to have MKB. He just bought the rest of the items, so it should be ferrying out to him right now. And that's a big power boost for SCCC on this Troll.
Yeah, and you have the Ogre who finishes the Solar Crest on Newbee as well. So they're going to have a defensive item in that fashion, whereas Luna just now picking up that Hurricane Pike. It's good and all, but I'm starting to worry a little bit about that damage output potential that they have, is if they're actually going to need to have the Eclipse to finish off these heroes, and of course BKB neutralizing that.
The BKB is an important point, though, because as the game goes longer, Newbee have less and less BKBs, which is even more important for TNC. Right. So Newbee are going to be strong in this period where their BKBs are in the 8+ second territory, but as it closes down to 5, Tim's on this Nyx Assassin and the Casks even, that are both going to be hugely involved in locking down these Newbee heroes without Repel, of course.
Well, this could be a good timing for Newbee still. In spite of everything that we've said about how Newbee have pulled themselves back into this game, you still have to respect the damage potential that Luna has onto towers. And, well, they're actually being wrapped around upon right now. Moogie does reveal. They're blinking away. TNC need to be careful here, although Newbee are actually fairly spread out. If they decide to turn this, I don't know if Newbee can take this fight. It doesn't look like TNC want to try and test it. They're just backing out.
Wow, I cannot believe Tim's is up there. He knows they have a gem.
Yeah.
He could have died so easily right there.
Well, TNC get away with that one. I thought maybe with them so spread out that TNC could have taken advantage of Newbee, but doesn't end up being the case. And an Aghanim Scepter done for the Rubik also. There's a good amount of spells to steal on this team.
Oh, man, if he steals Lasso and gets like a double Lasso, that would crush TNC in the next team fight.
I mean, Sonic Wave 2, the Luna ulti, these things really start to come together. And Moogie walking up onto high ground. He runs into Sam H. Has a couple of illusions as well. Looks like TNC are going to be able to back out, though. Again, dodging the fight, not wanting to get found.
He just has expired, and Moogie should be picking up his MKB right now as he finishes up the last bit of his second Javelin. So, going forward for the next few minutes, they both have to watch out for Roach, and I think double damage is going to be a huge impact in these next few fights too. And there's already one spawn on the bottom lane, but post 40 minutes, these doubles damage runes just spawn like candy.
Yeah, it really ends up giving a huge buff to teams who are able to maintain that map control, and, well, they're able to do that pretty well with Slark, believe it or not.
Rubik has come back from the grave too. He was, I believe, last on net worth early on in the game, but now he is number 6, well ahead of the Nyx Assassin, who's just been mostly spent around in Vendetta. And it begs the earlier question, should they have perhaps gone back for the Midas to play it a little bit safer and leave the game at like a 50-minute territory while expecting that, as opposed to ending it in 50-60 while preparing for a 30-minute victory.
This might make all the difference in the world, though. They walk right into everybody. Moogie, they're able to force step away. Nicely played. Sam H still there as well. It's a DD on Luna if they can make it work. But already with 14:37 gone, it might be a little bit too much to ask. Sonic Wave comes through. Ogre tanks a hell of a lot of it. But now the damage starting to come. The GA is going to be there. And Raven now maybe in a little bit of trouble. They do have that lasso pulling back in with the Aghanim Scepter upgraded from Rubik. Hell of a play indeed. Can they do enough with the clips here, though? They still have that DD for a second left on Raven. Starting to deal the damage. Moogie under fire as well. Can they get the kill? Yes. Double kill, triple kill for Raven. And now the path to high ground clear, in fact.
That pike and that double damage was both so important to that fight. Moogie went for the leap, missed the pounce because of the Force Staff, and he forced to pop his BKB, and he had a good 4 seconds, I would say, of his BKB where he wasn't doing anything.
And this is it.
That is at least 2 sets of racks, probably game off that one fight.
Man, and it looks so good as well. Kaka there being able to find that, turnaround with the Ags ulti, but doesn't end up being enough. They don't have any buybacks either.
Nope.
How does that happen?
Because they all committed for MKBs because they thought it would end up the next fight, but it didn't. They weren't able to. They weren't able to control the Luna because Luna was in this really awkward position in the trees where these heroes can't really find them. They didn't have a high ground ward at that fight, and on top of that, like they don't have flying vision. Whereas the Radiant side, with TNC having the Bat Rider, they do have the flying vision and can see everyone quite clearly in the fight once they picked up that gem. So a little bit of a small hiccup in the plan for TNC, but they take this game home with a sound Luna strategy, and TNC continue their undefeated streak.
My God, just a great easy peasy game for them. Faith is going to drop here. The last tier 4 to fall. They have buybacks. They can try for one last hold, but this game is pretty much over. I mean, if TNC wanted, they can just back out at this point. Get away, lose the gem. You have mega creeps at 45 minutes in. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think the only real hiccup for them was the perhaps some of the itemization coming from them. I think they all played very well on the side of TNC. I guess this game is not over yet, but it is going to be quite the uphill battle dealing with mega creeps, especially when they got a huge influx of gold. They got like 15,000 gold from that.
It's a 20,000 gold lead right now, and you also itemize to be able to kill off Raven. You didn't itemize to have to kill off mega creeps.
Yep, exactly. But you just go for the YOLO GG push right now.
All right.
It seems like it's their only hope.
Here we go. Newbee putting it all on the line here. As far as buyback status on the Radiant go, how is that looking, by the way?
Buyback status looks like it is up for everyone except for the Nyx on the Radiant side.
Well, Newbee running down the mid lane, gonna do their best, but I mean, you could even think about just TPing the Luna into the base right now if they wanted to.
No need. They don't need to take that risk.
Yeah. Your base.
Yeah, your base. Mega creeps.
Jeez. What a disheartening way, too, because Newbee, they've been pulling it back. It was looking so good right there after what would have been a pretty lackluster opening, and now to lose it all like that after you full commit all in for the MKB.
Another double damage.
Oh,
Raven's going to be happy about that.
And the haste.
That should be like a 550 damage, I think, with Luna. Times, like, how many times did her Glade bounce? 6 times?
It's a lot of damage.
Yep. Do the math, quick. How much per hit? Pre-reduction.
A lot. Over 9,000. I'll just go with whatever.
Well,
22-11. TNC looking to take this one. If Newbee have any way to hold off right now, this is the point. Maybe blowing up Raven at the start of it. They have the MKBs. They might be able to get something. Trying to bring him down. Sonic Wave comes out. Luna is actually going to die. They get the Guardian Angel as well. Are they going to be able to do this? There's some stuns coming out. BKB's been popped. This troll, he's big, he's bad, he's angry. He wants their blood. He's going to be able to kill off the Queen of Pain as well. And you know what? This is a freaking hold. They're going to be able to kill off Sam H potentially, though he doesn't get the blink away. But they took down the Luna. They took down the Quap. You can't mess with the Newbee that much.
You mentioned that they itemized to kill the Luna, and that's exactly what happened there. Double MKB is not going to help him survive right there. They actually need an Ethereal Blade. I think if Queen of Pain had gone for Ghost Scepter into Ethereal Blade, this game would be so much easier for them. You can just Ghost Scepter once they BKB. You don't even pop anything of your own.
Troll just got a DD, and he's going into Roche.
Yep, that is what's happening right now. And SamH can think about stopping him right now, but CCC will be a little bit scared. So I think they need to be able to EB the Luna as they BKB Rushdown, because there is still absolutely nothing they can do against BKB GA. That is 0 damage taken from everyone on the side of Newbee that has BKB on them, which is going to be the 2 important heroes on the Troll and the Slark. So being able to kite them with 4 staffs, which is not going to be that great because of Pounce. Lotus Orb, not going to do anything. Solar Crest, not going to do anything because of the Monkey King bar. So the only item left that they have going for them is going to be the... Wait, what did I say? EB. Yeah, EB is going to be the only defensive, but they haven't prepared for that.
Well, they have caught one now. Troll Warlord, SC, maybe in some trouble. Stun locked for the moment. Does still have that BKB available if he wants to pop it now. Maledict there as well. He's going to need to know Repel is going to keep him alive for the moment. So they decide to back out again, keeping him alive and not popping that BKB.
Still, they stop the Roche, and they buy enough time for Luna to respawn. And another small hiccup for TNC as they try and end this game.
So it's 13,000 net worth lead into the favor of TNC right now. Mega Creeps are there as well.
Basher's big on Slark. Because if you can stop Luna from doing any damage in the team fight, you'll very likely win. Yeah, you can just kill her, I think, twice with all this Mass Bash. You have tons of attack speed from Bloodlust, from Troll Ultimate, and now they are starting against the Mega Creeps defense with the Maelstrom. But it is still a tall mountain to climb and a deep hole to get out of.
Yeah, definitely regretting all that investment earlier on and not saving buybacks between them, but they've been able to pull themselves into this and still hold on.
I don't think buyback would have mattered.
Yeah.
Because if, let's say they did have MKBs, they would have just lost that fight even worse than they did earlier. And then you buy back on like a couple heroes, but then the evasion is king. You have to deal with Butterfly plus Solar Crest. Good luck with that without MKBs or Bloodthorn.
All right, fair enough, yeah. That's something I hadn't really thought about a ton. So TNC, they are going to back out again, not feeling completely comfortable even going into this with Cheese and everything else on top of it.
Yeah, they know what happened last time, and it can easily happen again. Nothing has really changed aside from the Aegis. I guess they can use the Aegis to trade for BKB. Yeah, the E-Blade is really important. I would say they probably need 2 of them. Also, Mass Armor helps too, but I don't think it's very likely that anyone's going to pick up an AC. I guess maybe the Queen could pick up AC, and Vlad's on one of the supports could help. But Armor and physical mitigation or physical vulnerability is going to save you from that.
Looking for this opening now. TNC trying to close out this game. Kaka might be the one, but they're able to get the lift up there. A nice catch with the E-Blade immediately. There's Sonic Wave as well. Kaka low, but not dead as of yet. They popped the Guardian Angel, but it only ended up connecting on a KP reel. And can they actually kill these heroes off? There is no more E-Blade. They're controlling up the Luna, trying to kill her up, but there's the Satanic. There's going to be the Eclipse, and there's going to be the kills. They have buyback control. They have buyback on Slark, but I don't know if they can stop it. It's all too much, and GG is going to be called as TNC win the first game of this best of 3.
Great strategy. I think the last pick, Luna, was